What's good, Commanders fans? Victory Wednesday. Want to give a quick shout out to BetUS. Shout out to BetUS for sponsoring the live. Sorry, guys, I couldn't make it on yesterday. Got pretty busy, but I'm on here tonight to celebrate. Of course, we have to move forward to the Cardinals, but I just want to get the pulse of you guys, man. That was a heck of a Monday night game. Jayden Daniels winning NFC Offensive Player of the Week, not Rookie of the Week, but the whole NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He's probably going to win Rookie of the Week as well and get two under his belt. But he has arrived. A star is born. We already knew he was going to be a star, but the national media has been going crazy. But that was a huge win overall. Great performance by the offensive line. Great performance by Cliff Kingsbury. We're going to talk about it all. Trent Scott getting a touchdown. A lot of guys stepping up. Terry McLaurin. We can finally put the Terry McLaurin slander to bed because people were going crazy about him. Him and Jayden finally connected. Fourth downs. Dan Quinn did a good job, heck of a job going for it on fourth down. Him, Cliff, and Jayden. We're a four down team now. We haven't punted in 2 games. Tressway hasn't even seen the field unless he's holding the football for an extra point or a field goal. I mean, my man Tressway is just resting up. He hasn't had to punt or touch the field really much at all. And that's just something we're not used to seeing, man. But we have a guy in Jayden Daniels where we know we can go for it on fourth down. 4th and 2, 4th and 4 is makeable. B-Rob balling. Noah Brown stepping up, Luke McCaffrey stepping up, other guys stepping up, wide receiver by committee, Zach Ertz, Eckler returning kicks back. It's just tough news. We're going to talk about the injury report as well. Austin Eckler, he's not going to be playing on Sunday if you did not hear. And then also Cleveland Farrell is going to be out on Sunday versus the Cardinals. Sam Cosmi's on the injury report now, unfortunately. Trey McBride for the Cardinals most likely will be not playing. So there's a lot of guys. There's a couple guys who are already out on both sides for Sunday, but this is a huge game on Sunday. Cliff Kingsbury versus Kyler Murray. Zach Ertz played with the Cardinals a couple of years, so there's a lot to talk about. DC Bay 21, what's up, man? He said, "Let's go, Biggie." What's up, man? Hashtag HTTC. But yeah, when you have a big win like that on Monday night, we all know the Monday night nightmares and whatnot. The last couple of years we've been winning Monday night games, but that was a huge game to just put the world on notice. Put the world on notice that we're back up. Ryan G, and then the college offense. College offense showed out on Monday Night Football. Shout out to Cam Taylor Burnt out there. Not Cam Taylor Britt, but Cam Taylor Burnt. Ryan G says, take command. What's up, man? Scary Terry, what's up, man? He says, Ed. Tony Parker said, let's go, E. What's up, Tony Parker, man? What's up, man? We're all feeling good right now. Everybody's hyped. Everybody's excited. I know it's only 3 games, so I know we have to stay humble. Right now we have a long way to go. Still first place in the NFC East. We're still in first place because we won an NFC East game. I know a couple of people question like why are we first place in the NFC East? Is because we beat the Giants, and I don't think anybody else has played another NFC East opponent so far. Even Jamison Crowder's on the injury report. Jamison Crowder, I haven't even seen him touch the field, but he was added to the injury report as well with a calf injury. So I don't know what's going on there, but we'll see what happens with guys. I haven't seen Jamison Crowder really get a snap in a while. I don't think he's played. I think he's been inactive for the most part. Shishi Hayden, what's up, man? He says HTTR. Tommy B, what's up, man? 50% Payne. I thought this was scheduled for 7:45. Yeah, I know, man. I was on CP time. I did start before 8 o'clock, though. SL says Super Bowl 3 years away. Hey, you never know, man. You never know. I mean, we'll see what happens. The defense has to improve, though. If we're going to be contenders, the defense has to improve. That's like the only thing that's really holding us back right now. That's the only thing that's holding us back. And then update as well. Emmanuel Forbes is going to play on Sunday, most likely. Dan Quinn did say that. So Emmanuel Forbes will be back. Let's see what he does. I'm not saying that he's going to help the defense in any way or shape or form, but I think he's better than Michael Davis. It's not saying much. Noah I has tried. Ben St. Juice has shown effort. Ben St. Juice is always there. He's just got to turn his head around. That's the only thing with Ben St. Juice. But Emmanuel Forbes will be back on Sunday. I said in my earlier video, I would not put him on Marvin Harrison. I would put him on who's the other receiver? They got like Greg Dortch for the Cardinals and other guys like that. Greg Dortch. Who are the other receivers? Michael Wilson, who's not bad. They got Zach Pascal, Xavier Weaver, who played for Colorado, if I'm not mistaken, with Deion Sanders and Shadur Sanders last year, who's not that bad. Xavier Weaver, I remember. He had a pretty good year last year with Colorado. But Shishi Hayden said, what's up with D4? You talking about the defense? The defense has a long way to go. Oh, you talking about Defoe? You talking about Derek Forrest? Derek Force. Jeremy Chinn had a decent game, so they're not going to activate him just yet. I mean, I think if Jeremy Chinn had another stinker, then I think Derek Forrest would have been activated. I wouldn't mind seeing him get some snaps. I wouldn't mind seeing Tyler Owens, but Jeremy Chinn played better. Played a little bit better. He played a little bit better. He had a pass breakup on the third down. That was like one noticeable play that I saw from him. He had a nice tackle on one play, but overall the defense has the long way to go. Deron Payne, John Allen, they got to step up. They got to play better. They got to play better. Scary Terry said, "What's the update with Cleveland Farrell?" So Cleveland Farrell is going to be out on Sunday, and apparently he's our best pass rusher so far. He has the most sacks on the team. I know we don't want to judge everything just by sacks, but so far he's gotten to the quarterback the most, and he's been able to tackle. That's the biggest thing. Like, we have guys that get to the quarterback, but they're not able to finish the play. Javonte John Baptiste gone on the board with a sack. But apparently guys have really hard times tackling the quarterback. Like Baker Mayfield, he looked like Vanilla Vic out there. Daniel Jones, we barely got any pressure on Daniel Jones. That was just inexcusable. And then Joe Burrow, we got some pressure. Dante Fowler was getting back there a couple times. And then Javonte John Baptiste finished the play. But other than that, we didn't really pressure Joe Burrow much. But to answer your question, Cleveland Farrell is out with a knee injury. Hopefully he can be ready for the Browns game at home. And then same thing with Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler, hopefully he can be ready for the Browns game at home next week. If not the Browns game, then hopefully the Ravens game in Baltimore, which I will be attending, which is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. I can't wait for that game. Battle of the Beltway. That should be a lot of fun. Uptown Dre says, "Yo, Edo, my brethren, what's up, man?" Jordan Wickline says, "Forbes is a FP in practice." Yeah, FP. Yeah, we'll see what a male Forbes does, man. I mean, like I said, as long as he's not a male on Marvin Harrison on Sunday, I'm fine with him being in there. I think he tackles a little bit better than Michael Davis. I mean, male Forbes is not a great tackler either, but from what we saw from Michael Davis, it's like, yeah, man, it was that bad to the point where I wanted to see what a male Forbes could do at that point. Nathan Wildman says, "I remember you from 2019 toilet bowl video against the Dolphins." Yeah, that's how long we came from, man. Seriously, like that's where we came from. We went 2-14 that season, and we ended up with Chase Young. We drafted him with the second pick of the draft. It's so crazy because, if you think about it, if we would have lost that game to the Dolphins where they went for 2 when they were tanking for Tua, and they went for 2 and they didn't get the 2-point conversion. If we would have lost that game, then we probably would have been 1-15, and we would have been able to draft Joe Burrow. And, just looking at history at the time, we would have had Joe Burrow. We probably would have been done with the quarterback carousel. We would have drafted Joe Burrow, but it's ifs and woulda, coulda, shoulda. And guess what? The guy that we just got went on Monday Night Football on the road and beat Joe Burrow in his house, walked in his trap, took over his trap and all that, and they're 0-3. And they're on 0-3. So it's crazy how history happens, how things unfold. Jimmy Z says, "Eckler is a beast. This worries me." Yeah, I am concerned. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I do like. I mean, we got some good backs. I mean, B-Rob is a heck of a back. Only thing is that we just need that change of pace running back. We need a running back that can catch out of the backfield. We need a running back that can hit a home run. And Eckler's a guy that can do that. That's just kind of what we've been missing the last probably year and a half. Because B-Rob he's more of a bell cow back. He's a tough back. He's not going to really give you many home runs. He gave you a home run hit against the Giants, but even with that, like, he wasn't able to finish it. Like, he ran 20 miles an hour, so I'm not going to take anything away from that. Like, he ran 20 miles per hour on that play. But honestly, like, I feel like if a different back was in there that had some more speed, that would have been a touchdown. I think you guys know the run I was talking about. I think it was the 40-yard run that he had where it was like a 3rd and 1, and he gets stopped, and then he bounced out to the outside, which was a great play by B-Rob. I love B-Rob. I'm a huge Brian Robinson fan, but you just need that change of pace back. And Eckler was the better back that game. He had the better game. He was the guy bouncing out, breaking tackles, getting outside. Eckler had like a 25, 30-yard touchdown run. And then not only that, the kick return, like a guy that can flip the field like that, because Austin Eckler, he should have had a touchdown against the Giants. Like, he really should have had a touchdown, but it was a holding penalty on Nick Bellore, who's supposed to be a special teams ace Pro Bowler. And he had back-to-back penalties in that game on special teams. But Austin Eckler, like, he was so huge, man. He was huge. He had a heck of a game. Like, he deserved a game ball. He was a stud in that game for sure. To have a nice kickoff return, to have a couple carries, a home run hit for a touchdown. Like, Eckler was a dog, man. He was a dog in the Giants game too. that screen pass, and then we hit stick that one guy on the sideline against the Giants. Like Eckler's a dog. Like I really thought I didn't expect him to be this to perform this well with us because I had some skepticism about it. I was happy when we got him, but he looked like he had a backpack on his back when he was running last year with the Chargers because of the injuries, the high ankle sprain, a couple lower injuries and whatnot. He just didn't look like the same Austin Eckler from 5, 3, 4 years ago. He didn't look like that same guy. But today, the last couple of days, he's been looking like that guy. He's been looking like that guy. He's been that guy, pal, for sure. He's been that guy. I might say because would it be crazy to bring back Chase Young? Yeah, he's not coming back. I think he's not coming back for sure. He's with the Saints right now. He's actually playing pretty well. Like he's getting pressures. He's not getting sacks, but he's getting pressures. Like his pass rush win rate is good and all that. He's getting to the quarterback. He's actually doing a pretty good job with the Saints. So I think mutually we're just moving past it. And we wish Chase Young the best. He wishes the Commanders the best and whatever, and move on from the situation. And he's playing well with the Saints right now. He's playing well. No sacks, I don't think, but he's playing well. But we need a pass rusher. This offseason, Adam Peters needs to be aggressive. Maybe even the trade deadline. Who knows? Like I said, if we're seriously still in the hunt, which I think we will, and let's say we're still first in the NFC East. Let's see what happens tomorrow night with the Cowboys and Giants. Like, the Giants look good against the Browns. They did. And that even made that the way the Giants looked against the Browns, that makes our win even better. Like, I mean, even though the kicker was out, we still beat the Giants. And it's crazy to say this because, we all think Daniel Jones is trash, but he looked darn good against the Browns. Him and Malik Neighbors looked darn good. So, that's a solid win there. They beat a solid Browns defense in Cleveland. So we'll see what happens tomorrow night. But as far as like getting a defensive end or an edge rusher, Hassan Reddick, I don't think we'll get him. But let's see what Adam Peters works at the trade deadline. Let's see if we're still in the hunt, which I think we will be. Let's see if he tries to make a trade for a defensive end or something like that. Let's see. But they did bring in Justin Hollins, and Cleveland Farrell is out, so we'll see when he comes back. Jamin Davis should provide some pass rushing juice, and Dante Fowler's getting better game by game. So let's see what happens. But Adam Peters definitely needs to be aggressive with the edge rusher spot this offseason for sure. Daniel Berry Sports Highlight. What's up, man? He says, hey, with a bunch of Ys. Aaron hailing from Austin, Texas. Shout out to you, man. What's up, man? Gotta love seeing Commanders fans down in Texas for sure. Tommy B says, hey, what do you think about Chinn in the last game? I thought he improved. Yeah, I thought he played better. He couldn't play much worse. He was struggling to tackle. He couldn't wrap up. He couldn't tackle Devin Singletary to save his life against the Giants. He couldn't tackle Baker Mayfield to save his life against the Buccaneers. He couldn't tackle Daniel Jones. He whiffed on a tackle on Daniel Jones against the Giants. So, yes, Jeremy Chinn has struggled a lot. He struggled stopping the run. He was just bad. Jeremy Chinn was really bad against the Bengals, really bad against the Buccaneers. He's just the most disappointing thing was the tackling from Jeremy Chinn because I thought he was going to be physical and play violently like Joe Witt Jr. talked about all offseason. And Jeremy Chinn took less money to come here too. Like that was a big story. Like he could have went to the Steelers and whatnot, but he decided to come here, and that was the whole thing. And everybody was excited for him to come here, but he just hasn't played good football. I mean, yesterday or Monday night he played better. He actually had, looking at PFF, looking at some of the numbers here, he had a 79.3 tackling grade against the Bengals, which is an improvement. Where the last couple of times he was rated as like a 40 or 30. He was really bad. And coverage grade, he had a 59.1. He had a pass breakup, like I said, on third down, which was huge to hold him to a field goal. The field goal that they ended up missing, that was a big him and Percy Butler did a good job on that pass breakup. He had a 57.8 run defense grade, 58.1 overall defensive grade, and a 57.0 pressure grade. Played in 55 snaps out of 60. Quan Martin played 60 snaps. Bobby Wagner played all 62 snaps. Ben St. Juste played all 62 snaps as well. Ben St. Juste had a 29.4 run defensive grade, 52.2 coverage grade, and a 78.7 tackling grade, which is pretty solid. The run defense grade was pretty awful. And then the worst graded PFF guy was Noah Igbenogany with a 36.2 coverage grade and a 39.5 overall grade. But, yeah, to answer your question, Jeremy Chinn played better because I was ready to bench him, honestly. If it was up to me, I would put Derek Forrest in there, and I would have put Tyler Owens in there, guys who at least we know, like, they may get beat in coverage like everybody else is right now, but we know that Derek Forrest is going to be physical and play violently and hit people. You remember hit that Derek Forrest had on Travis Etienne in 2022. I get it was 2 years ago, but Derek Forrest was balling that 2022 season where he was like one of the best safeties in the league that 22 season. I know I get it. I know it's 2 years ago him and Cam Curl, who's no longer here, but we know at least Derek Forrest is going to hit somebody. And we just needed somebody to tackle. Tyler Owens is going to go out there and tackle. Tyler Owens in preseason, I get it, it's preseason, but Tyler Owens had that touchdown saving tackle against the Dolphins, and he was playing with reckless abandon on special teams too. So we just need some physicality out there, somebody who's going to set the edge. Jeremy Chinn wasn't doing that, but I thought he did a better job of doing that against the Dolphins. Against the Bengals on Monday Night Football. So that hopefully that answers your question, Tommy B. I thought he played a little bit better, but he's still on a short leash for me. Like I said, Tyler Owens, I would take a look at him, and Derek Forrest for sure if Jeremy Chinn doesn't look good against the Falcons. Jim says Dallas plays Giants tomorrow. Like I said, hey, that's a toss-up game, man. That's a little bit closer than what we've been used to. Like every time we see Cowboys versus Giants, it's usually like, okay, the Cowboys are going to blow them out because the Cowboys beat them 40-0. And, Dan Quinn's not there anymore. Dan Quinn owns the Giants. Mike Zimmer's struggling with that defense over there. He's struggling with that defense. You got Micah Parsons crying on his podcast after getting blown out back-to-back weeks. Jordan Wickline says, hey, if we beat the Cardinals plus Browns, we are 4-1. Do you see us trading for a cornerback? Yeah, I think we should be aggressive. I think the only thing is that Adam Peters so far, he hasn't really been aggressive. That's the only thing. I'm not going to say he hasn't been aggressive, but he's been very conservative about moves. I'm going to say a little bit. He did go after Brandon Ayuk, but he didn't pull the trigger on that move. First round pick was a little too rich for him, or a little too expensive, which I don't blame him because you look at Brandon Ayuk right now through 3 weeks. Brandon Ayuk hasn't done much, but it's the long game. I think next season is the time where he's going to be aggressive and make moves. But like I said, the trade deadline is November 8th, right? So I'm looking at the schedule right now. And like I said, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but right now it looks like we're gonna be legit. We're legit gonna be in the hunt for sure. We're gonna be in the hunt. But like I said, November 8th. I'm just looking at the schedule here real quick, and just see potentially what our record would be here. November 8th. So November 3rd is when we play the Giants. That's the last game before the trade deadline, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9 games. So let's say we're 5-4 at the trade deadline. Let's say 5-4 or something like that, which is very realistic. Very realistic to be 5-4 at the trade deadline. If we're 5-4 and there's a disgruntled corner that's available, then Adam Peters should definitely try to make a move. I don't think it's going to save the defense or save the season, just because our defense is just the talent that we have. It's just, and Deron Payne and John Allen are not playing well. Maybe they play better by week 9 or whatever. But I do think he should be aggressive to get a corner in here. And if not during the season, then the draft, you gotta spend some money in free agency or draft a corner for at least the first 3 rounds for sure. Scary Terry says, who would you rather win, Giants and Cowboys, for the division standings chance? Tomorrow night, I'm rooting for the Giants. I'd rather see the Cowboys lose any day of the week. Everybody says the rivalry is dead, but I still hate the Cowboys with a passion for sure. So I'd rather see the Cowboys lose. And I'd rather see the Cowboys lose for sure. I'd rather see them. It would be hilarious to see them 1-3 and see Michael Parsons get on his podcast after being 1-3. Like, that would just be the funniest thing ever. And seeing a Jerry Jones meltdown and seeing the Cowboys lose to the Giants on national TV. That would just be beautiful. It really would be. Even though I hate the Giants too. I really am tired of seeing Daniel Jones and whatnot, but I would love to see the Cowboys lose tomorrow to the Giants for sure, especially when they're favored. A lot of upsets have happened this year, so I can see it happening again. This is going to be a close game tomorrow night. It's going to be a very close game. Malik Neighbors, we'll see what he does. This might be I'm not going to say a breakout game for him because he's already had a breakout game, but this could be a big game for Malik Neighbors on the national stage. Jayden Daniels and Malik Neighbors, they have that undercover wager that they have that, they had to go to a class or something like that, or they had to do something because they said to the media that they were going to do a wager on who was going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. So, Malik Neighbors saw what Jayden did on Monday Night Football. So Malik Neighbors is definitely going to try to show out. So I can see the Giants winning that game for sure. And the Cowboys, they can't stop the run. That's one thing I saw. They struggle to stop the run. The Giants struggle to stop the run. We struggle to stop the run too. And the Cowboys struggle to stop the run. They really struggle to stop the run. Derrick Henry did whatever he felt like doing. Alvin Kamara did whatever he felt like doing to the Cowboys. And then the Giants, B-Rob had a great day. Aaron Jones had a great day against the Giants. So it's two really bad run defenses going up against each other. And then Dak is just, he's been a little inconsistent this year. And the Cowboys defense has been bad so far. Other than the Browns game, they've been bad. Jasmine, great. Yeah, Commanders first place in NFC East, man. I say enjoy it, guys. Enjoy it. Hopefully we can keep it up, which I think we will. Man, like I said, if the Giants beat the Cowboys tomorrow night, that would be a huge help. That would be a huge help for sure. And the Eagles defense is bad too. Like everybody in the division has really large defensive flaws. Really large defensive flaws. The Eagles can't stop the run. They did a good job against the Saints, though. They struggled to stop the pass too. Chris Olave had a big game against the Eagles on Sunday. T-Ba Holla says, I hope Forrest plays soon. We'll see. Aaron says, got to contain Kyler Murray. He's elusive. Yeah, I mean, we'll see how they do against a running quarterback. Joey Jr., we'll see how he calls this game. A lot of containing. Got to be disciplined in your gap. A lot of gap integrity. John Allen and Deron Payne have to wake up. They are on their fourth string right tackle. They have had a lot of injuries on both sides of the football. They're on their fourth string right tackle. I'm gonna look at their depth chart real quick. But they have a lot of injuries. They're really banged up. So you got to take advantage of that. We got to run the football again really well because they're really struggling. The defensive tackle, Justin Jones, is done for the season for the Cardinals. Dante Stills is questionable. Darius Robinson, their right defensive end, is on injured reserve. They have a lot of injuries, just like the Bengals. They have a lot of injuries on the defensive line. And this is a game where our offensive line has a chance to dominate once again. Like Brandon Coleman was putting Trey Hendrickson in the dirt. Trent Scott was out there catching touchdown passes. Like our offensive line was balling. Sam Cosmi played well. Tyler Biotic played really well. Even Andrew Wiley was doing his thing out there. Cornelius Lucas played well. Like I know they've been splitting snaps. Like Cornelius Lucas played 29 snaps, and Brandon Coleman played 29 snaps. I think they split it up. Yeah, they both. Let me look it up here. Brandon Coleman, he played 29 snaps, and then Cornelius Lucas played 29 snaps. We had a total of 58 snaps. Excuse me, offensively. Andrew Wiley played 58 snaps. Sam Cosmi played 58 snaps. Jayden Daniels, of course, played 58 snaps. Biotis played 58 snaps. Zach Ertz played 38. Allegretti played all 58 snaps. Those are the guys that played 58 snaps. How many snaps did Terry play? Terry played 49 snaps. He had a grade of 83.1. Oh, speaking of PFF, I know people, take it with a grain of salt. Jayden Daniels had historically the best PFF grade for a Washington Commanders or Washington Skins quarterback in PFF history or in history. So he had a 95.9 offensive grade, 95.5 passing grade, 77.4 running grade, 60.3 run blocking grade as well. Jayden Daniels had a heck of a night. I mean, we can go over all the analytics and stats that Jayden Daniels did. Cornelius Lucas had a 79.9 pass blocking grade, and Brandon Coleman had a 55.6 pass blocking grade. Probably because of the one sack that he gave up to Trey Hendrickson, so that might have put his grade down. And then Cornelius Lucas, like I said, I mean, you can't really bench Cornelius Lucas at this point because he's playing good football. Like he's playing really well. So I think the whole offensive line, Allegretti, he's played well. He jumped on a fumble at Zach Ertz. Like that was huge by Nick Allegretti right there too. Sam Cosmi, he almost got an illegal man downfield. He fell backwards. So the offensive line is humming right now. They're doing a really good job. They're all in sync. Give credit to Cliff Kingsbury. Give credit to Anthony Lynn. We didn't have any false starts in the red zone. A couple of touchdowns, though, that we had were outside of the red zone. Like the 3rd and 7 pass from Jayden Daniels to Terry McLaurin, that was outside of the red zone, the 3rd and 7 touchdown. And then Austin Eckler had a touchdown run that was outside of the red zone. But the red zone, we improved. Like I got to give Cliff credit for that. I got to give Jayden credit for that. I got to give the whole offensive line credit for that. That was a big cleanup from last week. Like to go from 7 field goals to how many? We had 5 touchdowns, 35. We put up 38, 35. We put up 38 total points, and we had 35. We had 5 touchdowns and 1 field goal. 5 touchdowns and 1 field goal. So to go from 7 field goals to 5 touchdowns, that's a drastic improvement. That's a drastic improvement. And I love the fourth. I love that. I love how we're a fourth down team. I said this earlier, but we're really a fourth down team. Like even this week too, like if it's 4th and 2, 4th and 3, and we're on the Cardinals 45 or they're 40, then we basically I don't mind. I don't mind us going for it. I really don't mind us going for it every time, like every single time. We're not gonna make it on 4th down every time. That's one thing we got to realize too. I know last night or Monday night we were humming, like we just made every 4th down. Like it was like we could. It was like in basketball where you just can't miss. Like that's how Jayden was. Like he couldn't miss. Steph Curry, he couldn't miss last night or Monday night. Like the basket was wide open. Like Jayden was just hot. He was real hot. Whether he was running for a first down, throwing for a first down, the 4th and 2 to Luke McCaffrey, that was a heck of a pass. And he right now what he's doing too, like he's running to throw. He's not just running to run. That was one of the things that I wanted to see him improve on. And he's starting to do that. Hitting Noah Brown in stride or Noah Brown on that first down in the goal line. That was a heck of a play. The Luke McCaffrey 4th down, the one where he ran for the first down, the 3rd and 3 where he ran for a first down. He did a spin move. The guy had him wrapped up and then he did a spin move, ran out of bounds. Like 3rd and 4th downs, we're thriving on 3rd and 4th downs right now. That's the biggest part right now. And then defenses are going to know now. They're like, dang, okay, we stopped them on 3rd down, but then now we got to stop them on 4th down because they know Jayden Daniels can get that 4th and 3. It's very doable now. That's something that we haven't had in years where we know we're confident enough to go for it on 4th down. It's not like we're just doing a tush push, you know. It's not like we're just shoving the quarterback ahead. Like, nah, we're throwing the football on 4th and 3. Jayden's throwing the ball on 4th and 4 and getting it. 4th and 3 and getting it. Uptown Dre, what's up, man? He says Jayden is lethal in the pocket or on the move, blitz wise. Also, Cliff needs to cater to his. I thought he did on Monday night. I really did. I thought he did. I thought he did a great job catering to his skill set. And we have an offensive coordinator that believes in the quarterback. And the quarterback, you know, Jayden's yelling at them on the sideline, like, "Come on, get the play in!" Like he's ready to go on 4th down. I love that too. They're kind of going back and forth in a healthy way. Jayden slid on one play. Dan Quinn was excited. You saw Dan Quinn getting hyped up, hugging Terry McLaurin, like. The dialogue that Jayden has with Cliff is a healthy dialogue. It's not like how Cliff and Kyler were actually yelling at each other and Cliff was yelling. I mean, what's his name? Kyler Murray was yelling at Cliff Kingsbury. They're having like a healthy back and forth at this point, which I love. It's only 3 games, but you know the way that they're communicating with each other, I love that on the 4th down plays where Jayden was just hyped and he was ready to go for it. I love the confidence that they have in each other at this point through 3 games. Beautiful, beautiful to see. Beautiful football. But yeah, I think Cliff is catering to his skill set. You know, the college offense that we're running, I think Cliff's doing a heck of a job. He's taking the training wheels off. You know, we're throwing the ball down the field more. You know, the first 2 weeks is a lot of side passes, and we're still doing some, which is fine. And he's doing the opposite of Bieniemy, where he's dropping him. You know, he's not dropping him back 50 times. I love that too. You know, he's design runs, getting the ball to B-Rock, getting the ball to Eckler or Jared McNichols in the future. You know, so he's and Jayden's doing a good job against the blitz too. He's doing a good job against the blitz, but I think Cliff's doing a heck of a job. Like, you know, to go from last week, everybody was going in on Cliff, and I thought Cliff did a good job last week too, running the football. The only time I had a problem with Cliff was really the first game. That's the only time where I there were some things I didn't like, but other than that, I liked what he did against the Giants. I had no problem with what he did against the Giants. I thought he did a good job against the Giants running the football, especially coming from what we saw last year, where we were just so pass heavy. And once again, I don't want to forget Anthony Lynn. Anthony Lynn is huge in this too. The run game coordinator, who was the offensive coordinator for the Jets, was a head coach with the Chargers at one time, was with the Niners last year. Like everywhere Anthony Lynn goes, look at the numbers for the run game. Everywhere Anthony Lynn goes, I love what the run game is right now, how the run game is going. Sanjay Anand says the running Forbes has to step up. Yeah, everybody's got to step up. Everybody has to step up. So Forbes, yeah, we're gonna need him. We're gonna need him. It is what it is. I'm not high on him, on Forbes, but all hands on deck. All hands on deck with this defense. We need everybody to step up, from Noah I to Ben St. Juice to maybe even Bobby Price, maybe even Kavon Seymour. You know, we don't have a dominant corner that can just take away anybody out there. Like Ben St. Juice is our best corner at this point, and even him, he's really like a corner number 2 on a good team. But Ben St. Juice, I commend him for every week. He's got to go up against the best receiver. on that team. Like he had to go up against, and that's the thing with Joey Jr. From the jump, just put Ben St. Juste on Marvin Harrison. Don't play around, put anybody else on him. Put Ben St. Juste on Marvin Harrison and be physical and bracket him. Don't put Mikey Sanders still one-on-one with Marvin Harrison to start the game out. So that was one thing that was questionable. Mikey was on the outside, which they were trying him out because Emmanuel Forbes was out, and Michael Davis is unplayable at this point. So, but Mikey Sanders still, he's going to learn. He's going to get better as he goes. Maybe they do play him on the outside a little bit against the Cardinals, against like guys like Michael Wilson and Greg Dortch, who are not as good as Jamar Chase or T. Higgins. So maybe this is a better matchup for guys like Emmanuel Forbes and Mikey Sanders. Still, we'll see. We're not going up against Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. We're going up against Marvin Harrison and a couple solid receivers. But yes, Forbes needs to step up. He needs to step up. But let's see how many snaps he gets, and I would ease him in. Like I said, I wouldn't start him off on Marvin Harrison. I just think that's a mismatch. I don't think if you're Joe Witt Jr., I would stay away from that matchup at all costs. I would keep Ben St. Juste on Marvin Harrison as much as possible. All right, guys. Shout out to BetUS. Make sure you guys check out BetUS. As always, we're going to go over a couple player props from this last week. I guess we'll start off with the odds from last week that we beat. Shout out to BetUS as always. Make sure you guys check them out. 150% bonus on your first deposit, and then 150% bonus on your first deposit, and then 125% bonus on your next two deposits, up to $2,000 with promo code YouTube150. Fast and easy deposits and withdrawal process. 24/7 personalized service for 365 days out the year, and you also get 10% back on your net losses twice a year on BetUS. So we're going to go over a couple of the picks that I had for on BetUS against the Bungles. I had Jamar Chase getting over 82.5 receiving yards. I picked that. That was an easy pick right there. Unfortunately, I did pick B-Rob to get over 57.5 rushing yards. He went under with 34. But I did pick B-Rob to get over on the rush attempts to 12.5, and I told you guys that on my preview video. So if you put in the over 12.5 rushing attempts on BetUS, you would have cashed on that. Also, Jayden Daniels versus the Bengals or Bungles. I didn't make any wagers on Jayden because I just didn't know. I thought we were going to run the ball a lot more than what we did. And we ran the ball a lot, so I'm not going to say run the ball a lot more. But, going into that game, the Bengals did a good job against Pat Mahomes. They did a good job against, the Patriots don't really throw the ball much anyway, Jacoby Brissett. But I thought it was going to be a game where we're going to have to be more run heavy and kind of just run out the clock. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't know if Jayden was going to go crazy like he did on the Bengals like he did, because he clearly smashed that 198.5 passing yards. Completions, he smashed that. He had 21 completions. Passing touchdowns, he had 2 passing touchdowns as well. The one to Trent Scott, the big fella, and then also to Terry McLaurin to put the nail in the coffin in the fourth quarter on that 3rd and 7. Also, a big shout out to the coaches too. I loved how they drained the clock before the 2-minute warning. They drained the clock, and I've talked about clock management so much over the years, guys. With the previous regime, they were so bad at clock management and analytics, and Dan Quinn did a heck of a job with draining the clock there, and Cliff Kingsbury as well. I'll put him in there. And then they have an analytics guy. I forgot the analytics guy's name, but that was huge before the 2-minute warning where they drained the clock there. Also, Zach Ertz, 27.5 receiving yards. He went over. He's been killing that line the whole year. 2.5 receptions for Zach Ertz. He had 4. That's just a cash cow. I mean, if you take Zach Ertz receptions every week, if they keep it at 2.5 receptions every week, he's going to smash that. Jayden loves Zach Ertz. He loves Zach Ertz with a passion. Like I said, where's the graph? I'm going to try to see if I can find it with Zach Ertz where it was like 2.5 receptions or whatever. I can't find it right now, but Zach Ertz is a dog. He's a dog. Him and Eckler are 2 dogs, two veteran dogs. Hopefully Eckler can get back. And like I said, 150% sign-up bonus on BetUS. Make sure you guys check out BetUS as always. All right, let's get back to the comments here. So I think the only one that we missed on BetUS was the B-Rob rushing yards. Other than that, like I said, I didn't make a wager on Terry because I just didn't know. And it's so crazy because Jayden missed that pass to Terry. Shout out to my man Kenny Man DMV. Make sure you guys subscribe to him on YouTube. Make sure you guys follow him on Instagram as well. He be balling at Berry Farms all the time, always at the farms, balling, doing his thing, playing basketball. He's a great basketball player. Really good one-on-one, good 5-on-5 as well. Make sure you guys check out his content. He's got a lot of big things coming up. Can't say too much, but I'll announce it when he gives me the green light to announce it. But he's a huge Commanders fan, elite channel member, always on the channel, doing great stuff. No, he knows ball for sure, man. He knows ball, knows basketball, all that. Big DMV sports fan. So, man, make sure you guys shout out to my guy and subscribe to Kenny Man DMV on YouTube. And check out his Instagram as well for basketball content for sure. She Hayden says, I'm still high from Monday. Defense needs to tighten up. I'm still on that emotional high too from Monday night. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm still on that emotional high. I mean, how can you not be? You do have to move. We do have to move on to Sunday and look forward to the Cardinals. But you gotta soak this in. I mean, when your quarterback arrives on a national stage and doesn't shy away from the moment and steps up under the lights like that on the road, I mean, that's just something we haven't seen in years. And you have to appreciate that. You have to cherish that for sure. And when you see other teams scared and national, who cares what the national media says? But Pat McAfee, Aaron Rodgers gives Jayden Daniels his props. Jamar Chase, after the game, he was pissed off and he was like, he's a really effing good quarterback. Like Jamar Chase was even in awe. Ryan Clark running up to the board and talking trash about Cam Taylor-Britt, talking about the college offense. Ryan Clark cooking Cam Taylor-Britt about his comments, and Ryan Clark giving us our props. Ryan Clark went to LSU too, so Ryan Clark is hyped. Man, he was a former Skin for a couple of years. And then Marcus Spears, on ESPN, he said there's going to be a parade in PG County for how well we're doing. So I don't know where the parade is going to be at, but first we got to get some things done before we do it. And we only do parades when we win championships. So we're not going to do a parade just for starting off 2-1. But the national media, they're just salivating over Jayden Daniels right now. They're salivating over us right now. Chase Daniel, Darren Orlovsky, even people who have hated the Commanders and Skins for years are even turning around. And it's so crazy. Like, people are starting to say that Jayden Daniels is in a better situation than Caleb Williams. Like, that's insane. Like, before the season started, nobody was saying that. And now people want to say, oh, it's his supporting cast and the offense he's in. Like, it's so crazy how the narrative turns when we do well in DC. Like, it's so crazy and weird how the narrative turns when we do well. People just try to discredit and stuff. It's so insane that people are saying. And I like Caleb Williams. He's from the DMV. Where everybody knows he's from went to Gonzaga High School and whatnot. So I say no. I say nothing bad about Caleb Williams. He's struggling at this point. Also, Jayden Daniels should be he's going to be Rookie of the Year. I already said that too. And most likely he's going to win Rookie of the Year for sure. Bet US. Also, make sure you guys make the wager on Bet US for Jayden Daniels winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. But the funny thing I want to get out the way before I get to comments is that it's so insane that people are saying that when he has Keenan Allen, Rome Adunze, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, DeAndre Swift, and all those guys. I mean, like, they need to stop the nonsense. I think there's a lot of Bears fans saying that that Jayden's in a better situation, has a better supporting cast. When everybody knows we were very concerned about our offensive line. We were very concerned. And I think a lot of the offensive line, I'm not going to take anything away from the offensive line. They're doing a good job. But when a quarterback plays well, too, they can mask a lot of the offensive line's deficiencies. Like I said, I don't want to take anything away from the offensive line. They're doing a good job right now. But I think Jayden Daniels certainly is helping out the offensive line, too. His mobility, him getting the ball out quick. Cliff's a part of it, too. And you see last year, the offensive line wasn't really done many favors by the offensive coordinator last year. But this year, the offensive coordinator is helping the offensive line. And I think Jayden Daniels is really making it easy for the offensive line because he's doing a heck of a job. He's getting the ball out quick, reading defenses better as the game goes along, and he's just so elusive too. What's up, Jim? He says going to the Baltimore game too, man. If you got anybody who's going to the Ravens game, please comment in the comment section. I'll talk about it in more videos, but I'm definitely going to the game. So let me know if you guys are going, man. I'm gonna try to meet some of you guys there for sure, and we can take over their house and take over like we did against the Bengals. that would be awesome if we just go in there and take over their house just like we did against the Bengals and win the Battle of the Beltway. That would be lovely. And take over Baltimore. Take over the wire. Javier Griffin says Forbes on the scout team. No, I mean he's gonna play. He's gonna play on Sunday, so he's gonna get snaps. I don't want to see I don't want to see a double flag on one play. I don't want to see a face mask and a pass interference on the same play from Emmanuel Forbes. So stay away from that. Stay away from that, Emmanuel Forbes. And in the red zone, do not put him on Marvin Harrison. That's all I ask. That's all I ask from Joe Witt Jr. Excuse me. 1,001 OF clips. My mind is so tainted when I see OF now, but 1,001 OF clips. He says, if we got Burrow, we'd probably be right where the Bengals are right now. Good offense and shiggity defense. So I ain't tripping too much on it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. But like I said, history works itself out. We could have got Burrow. We would have lost to the Dolphins. We probably would have had the first pick that year. And we got our guy now. We're going to miss Austin Eckler while he's out. Yeah, we are. Jeremy McNichols got to step up. Michael Wiley's got to step up. I said in my previous video, because Adam Peters, he has gone after free agents to bring them into the practice squad. I did look at a couple of running backs that are available, via free agency. And it's not a sexy list. It's not like, oh, man, we got to bring this guy in. But I'm just saying, like, we need another body for – knocking on wood, hopefully Austin Eckler's back by the Browns game, but let's say he's not ready for the Browns game and Jeremy McNichols is okay. Jeremy McNichols, he had a huge block on that linebacker against the Bengals. Let's say, that Jeremy McNichols, he's okay, but we need somebody who can hit a home run and be more elusive against he doesn't do that against the Cardinals. And we just need a little bit more pop. And I like Michael Wiley, but he may not be ready yet. I'm a big fan of Michael Wiley. I like what he did in the preseason. Jerick McKinnon is a guy that I think we should take a look at. Excuse me. And maybe add him to the practice squad. We added Justin Hollins to the practice squad. We added Kayvon Seymour to the practice squad, a corner. When Emmanuel Forbes got hurt, we added a corner to the practice squad. We added 2 corners. And then when Cleveland Farrell, we knew he was injured, we added Justin Hollins to the practice squad. So, like I said, I just don't think it would hurt if Adam Peters brought in another back to the practice squad. But like I said, hopefully Austin Eckler is back sooner than later. I like Jerick McKinnon. We saw what he did with the Chiefs for a couple of years, and he's a change of pace running back who can catch out of the backfield, make guys miss, hit some home runs here and there. We've seen what Jerick McKinnon has done in the past couple of years with the Chiefs. So, that's just something to think about. I don't, if we don't sign a running back to the practice squad, not tripping over it. But let's see what happens in the next, week and a half. G-Man says, don't forget to hit that like button. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. Hit the like button for sure. And here's another free agent question here. Scary Terry says, do you think we should get Xavier Howard? And my gosh, shout out to my guy Kenny. We talked about this in the group chat, in the lead channel member group chat. We talked about Xavier Howard. A lot of people are talking about Xavier Howard. He's a good player, but there's some legalities, some allegations that he's got going on. I won't go into full detail, but I'll go a little bit into the details. So maybe somebody in the chat might have already talked about Xavier Howard and what he did, but he sent a explicit photo to a minor, and a lot of teams they're not interested in him right now because of that situation. Like I said, that's where I'll stop with the information that I've heard, the allegations there, and a lot of teams are staying away from him. So I mean, maybe we'll see. But after the situation with Brandon McManus, he actually looks like he's going to beat the case. It doesn't matter now because Austin Cyborg is legit. He made a nice kick against the Bengals, but that's just the report on Xavier Howard at this point. So I'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to go into too much detail on it. There's an article on it. So Scary Terry, if you want to Google it, you can look it up for sure. I may put the link to the article for a couple minutes, and then you can see it. But Xavier Howard he's not an option at this time. He's just not an option for that reason. CC Demigod, shout out to him. He says, this team shocked me Monday. I expected we would get a super ugly win, something like 17-14, but JD showed up big time on prime time. Let's keep this momentum going. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I did pick us to lose, so I'm gonna stand on business and take the shots, take the slander or whatever. I said it was only 31-20, and at one point we were up 31-20. It's so funny. I knew if we lost, it wasn't gonna be. And then, like you said, if we won, I thought it was gonna be ugly. I thought it was gonna be like 20-17 or something like that, where we play keep away and don't let them get the football. We run the football, smash mouth. B-Rob gets like 30 carries for like 90-something yards, something ugly like that. Field goals, force a turnover, which we don't really do. But yeah, I was thinking just like you, Demigod. I thought it was gonna be a close win if we won. A nasty, ugly under type of win for sure. Skins fan all day. That's my guy, man. Shout out to him, man. He's been in the YouTube game for a long time. Commanders fan for a long time. I met him at training camp. Great stand-up guy. Stand-up guy, for sure. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel as well. Does Commanders content too. He says, keep it the good content. He's been a member for 48 months. Gisology, I don't know what in the world are you talking about. I know everybody's excited right now, but we gotta relax. We gotta relax. And your name is crazy too. Your name is crazy for sure. Your name is crazy. Oh yeah, we might have to put some people in timeout. It's been a long time, man. It's been a long time since we had to do that. But I know I got some mods in here too, man. I'm pretty sure I got some mods for sure. Some mods if you guys gotta do what you gotta do for sure on some people. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since we had some crazy stuff going in the chat. I haven't been live by myself consistently, but I'm starting to get live again, go live more. But like I said, make sure you guys keep it PG-13 for sure. WLG says, keep the good work and grind, Ed. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Shatter Limerick said, if we had signed Stephon Gilmore corner, we would be at NFC. And guess what? Stephon Gilmore is doing a good job with the Vikings. Look what the Vikings defense is doing right now. It's not just Stephon Gilmore, but the Vikings defense, they're doing a good job. They were doing a darn good job. Stephon Gilmore, he did a good job against the Texans too. I think he held somebody. He did a good job. It was either against Stephon Diggs or Nico Collins or Tank Dell. Like Stephon Gilmore did a really, really good job against the Texans. All right. Let's see here. Somebody became a member. Let me not miss that out. Kiata. All right, let me get your name correct for sure. Kiate or Kiati. Kate, is it KT? KT. What an interesting name. What an interesting way to spell KT. KT. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate you for that. If you guys want to become a member, the link is down below. I definitely want to do some more content for you guys, for the members, more previous, maybe like a private stream. We can do like a private lunchtime stream or something like that where we can chop it up. And like I said, if you become an elite channel member, we do an elite channel member stream at least once a month with my guys, Kenny, Warpath, Oscar, Brandon, OG. We all get on here and chop it up and just laugh and have a good time at least once a month and just talk football, kind of like bar style, kind of like sitting up in a Loonies or a Jaspers and watching the game or something like that. Or Buffalo Wild Wings. So thank you for becoming a member, KT. I appreciate you for that. Thank you for supporting the channel. Definitely means a lot for sure. Sean Garner says sign Dalvin Cook from the Cowboys. I think he's on the practice squad. I mean, hey, I wouldn't. Like I said, it all depends on what's going on with Eckler. It all depends on what's going on with Eckler. But my point is that Adam Peters, every time somebody gets hurt, the man Forrest got hurt, he brought in Seymour. Cleveland Farrell got hurt, he brought in Justin Hollins. So he's been signing guy. Left tackle, he signed the athletic freak from like the big guy from Howard. I don't think we had an injury, but Adam Peters has been making moves on the practice squad. So I would just keep an eye on Adam. He's been cooking. I hate to bring up Jahan Dotson, but he hasn't done much so far. He's going to have to play because Devontae Smith, I think, is going to be out for the Eagles, if I'm not mistaken, after that hit he took from the Saints. And then not trading for Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk hasn't done much so far. But take a look at Adam Peters. Let's see what he does. Let's see if he makes a sign. I don't think he's going to sign anybody this week because they're in Arizona, so it makes it kind of odd. It's kind of a weird week for them. It's a short week, and they're out in Arizona. They didn't go back to Virginia, so I don't know if Adam Peters is going to make a move to sign somebody to the practice squad like he did the past couple weeks. He's been pretty aggressive with the practice squad. G-Man says, Ed, not that I'm looking to the draft just yet, but have you checked out Jayden's wide receiver from LSU, Kyron Lacy? He could potentially be a stud for us, I think. I haven't taken a look at a lot of college football just yet. I know McMillan from Arizona is a dog. I know Travis Hunter's a dog for sure. So those are the guys I've been able to sit down and watch so far. I haven't been able. Saturdays have been just crazy for me. Like this weekend, I'm going to be out with the kids for sure on Saturday. I'm not going to be home at all. There's been like a kid birthday party almost every Saturday, or just something going on every Saturday. So I haven't really been able to sit down. I was upset I missed the Colorado game. They came back against Baylor. So every week I try to watch Colorado. I try to make it a point to watch them for sure, and Maryland because I'm a local guy. But I haven't been able to really watch much. But I know there's some guys I got to sit down and watch. But Kyron Lacy, anybody from LSU as a wide receiver. I mean, they are a factory. LSU is a factory, as you see our guy Jayden Daniels, but they're a factory of just football players. Malik Neighbors is a stud. Jamar Chase is a stud. Justin Jefferson is a stud. Anybody from LSU that comes out, they're usually a stud for sure. They're usually a stud. LSU receivers the past couple of years have been no joke. They've been no joke. Just be 327. Who do you like tomorrow night? It's a big division game. Unfortunately, I do have the Cowboys winning a close one, but it's gonna be very close. Like it's not gonna be a blowout. Like it's gonna be a close game. Like I can see the Giants winning because the Cowboys can't stop the run. They couldn't stop the run last year towards the end of the year, and I just think they're gonna. I think it's crazy to say like Daniel Jones had a good game last week. I'm not gonna front. Like he had a good game. He looked good. He looked good against the Browns, and Malik Neighbors is gonna make Daniel Jones better. I think he's gonna make him better. Wan'Dale Robinson's not bad. Devin Singletary has actually played pretty well. Like Devin Singletary's not a bum. Like he's not Saquon Barkley, but Singletary, like you saw what he did to us. Singletary had a good game. He had a solid game against the Browns. They are missing Drew Phillips, and another one of their corners is hurt too. Drew Phillips is hurt. He's not gonna play, and then Adoree Jackson's not gonna play either. So that's gonna be tough for their secondary. Deontay Banks is gonna be left out there to dry. CeeDee Lamb and Dak, they were arguing on the sideline like they usually do. They argued on the sideline against the Packers when they got their butts kicked. They argued on the sideline again after getting their butts kicked, or while getting their butts kicked. And then they don't really have much of a run game. Like Zeke he's old. He looks like a fullback. He looks overweight and whatnot. And Rico Dowdle he's okay. I mean, he's mid, like people say. Like their running back room is not what it used to be. Like the Cowboys usually have a stud running back, they just don't have it, and that's like their downfall. They can't stop the run, and they struggle to stop the run, and they struggle to run the football. And whenever they play a team that's like on their caliber, like 500 or better, or a team that has been a perennial playoff team, they usually fold. Like the Ravens, they folded, and they folded against the Saints. So they can't stop the run. If the Giants can get their run game going with Singletary and get the ball to Neighbors, make it simple. Wan'Dale Robinson and Daniel Jones got to use his legs too. Daniel Jones, he needs to play like he does against us. That's what I need Daniel Jones to do tomorrow night. Act like you're playing against the Commanders. And the Giants have a chance. But yeah, the Cowboys, they're struggling to stop the run. And D-Law and Micah Parsons, they were about to fight each other. They were about to fight on the sideline too. So I love seeing that. I love seeing that with a passion. So I would not be surprised if the Giants win that game. Seriously. Like this is their best opportunity to beat the Cowboys for sure. But I unfortunately I do have the Cowboys winning the game tomorrow night. Probably like 23-20, something like that. It's gonna be a close game. Jack Kennedy, thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate that. He says, Ed, do we upgrade cornerback or wide receiver at the deadline? I'm thinking about a first-round pick for T. Higgins or Greg Newsome the second. So, cornerback, I don't know about a first-round pick for Greg Newsome, maybe like a third-round pick for Greg Newsome. Adam Peters didn't want to trade a first for Brandon Ayuk. So, and T. Higgins is better than Brandon Ayuk in my opinion. They're kind of even. I like Brandon Ayuk a lot too, but if he didn't want to give up a first for Brandon Ayuk, I don't think he'll give up a first for T. Higgins. I think maybe in free agency, I think because we're gonna have a lot of money in free agency. Like we have so many 1-year deals. Even with the 1-year deal guys on the books, we still have a good amount of money to spend in free agency next year. Like even if we brought a lot of guys back on that same contract, on the same 1-year deal and whatnot, we would still have a good amount of cap space. So T. Higgins definitely I would think about him. I know a lot of people talk about Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams was on the Kate Adams show, and he said that he wanted to draft Jayden Daniels, but I wouldn't bring in I would not trade for Devontae Adams unless he really wanted to come here, like requested a trade to come here. And still, even then, I would be skeptical about it. He's 31, but Devontae Adams is a dog. T. Higgins is a dog. He would be a really good wide receiver next to Terry McLaurin. Like imagine Terry, T. Higgins, and Noah Brown. Like that would be nasty. And then maybe you draft another receiver just to get some speed in here. But yeah, T. Higgins, he wants to get paid. So you're looking around $25 to $28 million for T. Higgins. Brandon Ayuk got what, $30 million. So T. Higgins, he's gonna get paid more than Terry McLaurin, which I know people are not gonna like, but the market's going up. So but at the deadline, I'm not trading a first for T. Higgins or Greg Newsome at this point. But I do like T. Higgins. I like T. Higgins a lot. But upgrading a cornerback is something we have to do. Like we have to. I don't like I said, even if we trade for a stud corner, I don't know if that really fixes the defense because the defense is so just not good. Like just to keep it 100, the defense is not good. The pass rush is not good. I'm not saying it can't change. There's only 3 games. So if Deron Payne and John Allen wake up, like right now, John Allen has more podcasts. He has more radio interviews than sacks right now, which is not good. He has more radio. He has more weekly radio interviews than sacks at this point. John Allen, Deron Payne, bear hugged Zach Moss on. It was 3rd and 7. I watched the game again today, and it was 1st and 10, and Deron Payne basically had Zach Moss like in a hug, seriously, and then let him go somehow. It was crazy. And then Zach Moss ran for a first down on the other side. It was either Zach Moss or Chase Brown. Chase Brown went to the left, got bear hug, got out of the bear hug, and then ran the other way. And Deron Payne let him go. It was just insane. Johnny Newton played better than those guys on Monday Night Football. That's just terrible. And Johnny Newton's he's starting to get up to speed. He's playing better game by game. I guess if you want to say duds, it was really John Allen and Deron Payne for the most part. Those were the duds. Other than that, offensively, everybody was like for the most part, were studs. For the most part, offensively. The only duds were really just defensively. But to answer your question, Jack, do we upgrade cornerback? I can see him going after a corner. It's just Adam has been kind of conservative on making moves. I think this year Adam's going to be on the conservative side as far as trades. And he said he wanted to build through the draft. So I think he's happy with the 3rd round pick that we got for Jahan. Did he fleece the Eagles? We'll see. It's looking like it. We got the 3rd round pick for Jahan and multiple 7th round picks. We got a 6th round pick for John Ridgeway. We moved up in the draft with the Sam Howell trade. And I'm trying to think if we made any other trades. We got a 7th round pick back from Cade York being so awful. We got our 7th round pick. So we have 3 7th round picks. We got 2 thirds. And we'll see if he trades more guys. Speaking of John Allen, Deron Payne, I mean, we'll see if they end up trading one of those guys at the deadline. That's a possibility. But like I said, if we're 5-4 or 6-3, because there's going to be 9 games, excuse me, by November 4th. No, sorry, November 8th. Excuse me for a second. But yeah, November 8th is the trade deadline. Let's say we're 6-3 at the trade deadline, kind of like how we were with Alex Smith. We were 6-3 at the trade deadline. We traded for HaHa Clinton-Dix at that time, and HaHa Clinton-Dix ended up being really bad. So my point is that I don't know if one corner is going to fix the defense right now. I think cornerback is going to be a move that Adam Peters makes that move. The trade deadline is November 5th. It's November 5th. And like I said, looking at the schedule, November 5th is, I'm pretty sure that's the 9th game. And we play the Giants right before the trade deadline. But if answering your question, I don't think Adam Peters makes a move. He's been more conservative. He's been more of getting practice squad guys. The performance provisions, I agree with you. I agree. It's just hard at this point. I mean, I know a lot of people are talking about Marshawn Lattimore with the Saints, but they're not going to trade him. The Saints are playing good football. They're 2-1 right now, and they play. Other than the Eagles game, they play really good football. And even in the Eagles game, the Saints had a chance to win. So Marshawn Lattimore, he's not Lattimore. I don't see us trading for him. So yeah, I mean that's a good question, Jack. I mean, time will tell, but just seeing the kind of the way that Adam Peters has been moving, he's been more on a practice squad kind of thing, and that's not going to change anything. But the corners that are out there, like you said, Greg Newsome, he's fine. He's more of a cornerback too as well. He's not a cornerback one in my opinion. I think he's a good corner, but I don't see a corner in here really changing it. The defense is that bad to the point where I don't know. I don't know if a corner comes in here and changes it at this point. But we got to get an upgrade. We have to. I wanted Stephon Gilmore. I really did. It is what it is with that. I really wish we would have just picked him up too. I think that would have helped us out a lot, honestly. But I don't who. Let's see who becomes available at this point. Somebody put up a tweet about JC Horn from the Panthers, but the Panthers right now looks like they might have some life. It looks like they have a pulse here. I don't see them trading JC Horn, so we'll see what cornerbacks become available by the trade deadline. But like I said, once again, Adam Peters, he's been more of a conservative guy. He hasn't been aggressive. I think next year is the year where Adam Peters is going to be very, very aggressive. That's what I hope to see with Adam Peters, is see him get a little bit more aggressive. But the first year is more of an evaluation year. Like he said, he wants to build through the draft. Mr. Cool, what's up, man? He says, I asked Rio. Shout out to my guy Rio. I'm gonna be on his channel on October 1st, I think. So after the Cardinals game, yeah, that's October 1st, I think. So I'll be on his channel. Mr. Cool said, I asked Rio these same questions. Will our quarterback stay healthy? Will our quarterback get figured out when there's more tape on him to review? The healthy thing, he's been doing a good job. He's been sliding. He's been evading rush, getting out of harm's way. And I think he's been doing a good job staying healthy. He did take that one big hit against the Giants where he took the rib shot, got the wind knocked out of him. Once again, also guys, make sure you guys check out BetUS. They got the 150% promo code right now. YouTube 150, 150% sign up bonus, your first 3 deposits, or your first deposit, 150% bonus on your first deposit, then 125% bonus on your next 2 deposits, up to $2,000 with code YouTube 150 on BetUS. So make sure you guys check out BetUS to make your wagers. And like I said, we hit on B-Rob's rushing attempts against the Bengals, and we also hit on Zach Ertz receptions. And Terry McLaurin's receptions 3.5. We hit on a couple props last week against the Bengals. So let's keep it up with those props. Zach Ertz, if they keep him at 2.5 receptions per game, then it's like you got to smash the over on it. You got to. Like, that's just free money right there. All right, where are we at? Mr. Cool, can he stay healthy? Yeah, I think he can stay healthy. He's got to keep sliding, getting out of harm's way, and just doing that. The offensive line's doing a really good job keeping him upright as well. Cliff Kingsbury's getting the ball out of his hands, so I think he'll be fine. Health-wise, will our quarterback get figured out when there's more tape on him to review? The thing is about him getting figured out, he's starting to figure out defenses more and more. He's starting to run the throw, and then the other thing is that 4th down element too. I know we're not going to make every 4th down, but you got to guard us all 4 downs now. Like, we're going, guns a-blazing. It's 4th and 2 on your 40-yard line. We're going for it. We're not caring about it. We're gonna put our foot on your necks and go for the kill now. Like, that's how much confidence our coaching staff has in our quarterback, and how much the team has faith in the quarterback too. So it's like, teams are trying to figure him out, and he's figuring out defenses now. He's starting to see more and get more confident on the run. He's making throws to Noah Brown. On the run, he's making throws to Luke McCaffrey. So, he's starting to learn the game more and get more settled and get more confident. And the internal clock is starting to slow down for him. So that's why Jeremy Fowler was saying that GMs were scared to death of Jayden Daniels. You saw on Monday night why GMs were getting scared to death. So yeah, defenses are going to start a game plan for him more, but he's going to get more acclimated with reading defenses and seeing more defenses and blitz packages and things like that. And he saw that cover 0 on 3rd and 7. He was like, hey, I just got to give my guy Terry a chance. And he read that from the jump and just threw that thing up there and was like, hey, my guy can get the football. And that's the thing with Terry. You got to give Terry more contested catches. That's what I was telling people last week, where everybody was panicking about Terry McLaurin, is a lot of the times the best way to get Terry, the way you can get the best out of Terry McLaurin is with giving him contested catches. Terry McLaurin, he's not always going to create separation to be wide open. There's times where you're just going to have to throw that thing up there. And Terry got it. Gaming L, yes, I'm going to wrap it up in a couple minutes, guys. So studs, Jayden Daniels, of course, Terry McLaurin, Austin Eckler, until he got hurt, the offensive line definitely played well. Duds, the corners, particularly Noah Igbenogany. Noah, I didn't really go on Noah that much because, I thought he tried. Like, the touchdown to Andre Ivasic, I can't pronounce that guy's name from the Bungles, number 80. I honestly, his feet crossed the plane. I guess that's the rule, but I thought Noah I was there. I thought he did a good job on that. He did get the pass interference, and Noah I was the worst graded PFF player on defense. He got a 39.5 PFF grade and a 36.2 coverage grade as well. So Noah definitely struggled, and all our guys struggled because they just have really good corners. Like Ben St. Juste had a 46.0 defensive grade and a 29.4 run defensive grade, 52.2 coverage grade. He gave up the touchdown to Jamar Chase as well. Mikey Sanders still in the third play of the game. He gave up a big touchdown to Jamar Chase, but he bounced back with a good tackle on a screen pass. He finished the day with a 63.4 PFF grade. Dorrance Armstrong had a 66.8 PFF grade. Quan Martin was number 2. He had a 67.4 PFF grade. Bobby Wagner with a 71.1. He was the highest grade PFF player. Johnny Newton had a 51.1 pressure grade, 59.9 PFF grade, and Jamin Davis 57.2. Andre Jones Jr. Javonte John Baptiste had a 52.9 PFF grade. Deron Payne, 21.9 tackling grade for Deron Payne, probably because of that bear hug tackle. Like, that was just ridiculous. That was awful. That was just really disappointing and just disrespectful to the game of football. Deron Payne with that missed tackle. And I love Deron Payne. He's a great player. We know he's way better than that. We know that. He knows he's better than that. John Allen had a 49.7 PFF grade. He was somewhat of a dub just because, like I said, he's done more radio interviews this year than he's gotten sacks. He has not been able to wrap up. He hasn't really tackled well. 44.6 run defensive grade. The defenses have been able to run up the middle on us. Like, that's probably one of the most disappointing things about the defense. Like, we knew the secondary was going to be bad, but the interior defensive line, like, we haven't been able to stop the run at all. I mean, like, we've been able to stop the run for quarters, but a full game, Chase Brown and Zach Moss did whatever they felt like doing. Bucky Irving did whatever he felt like doing, and Devin Singletary had a good game against us too. Devin Singletary had like almost 100 yards on the ground against us. So the run game's got to be better against James Conner. James Conner's no joke. James Conner, he is a big fella. James Conner's a big fella. James Conner did a good job under Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury put James Conner in some really good situations, and James Conner had some really good seasons. He had a couple of good seasons with the Arizona Cardinals under Cliff Kingsbury. He was a touchdown machine under Cliff Kingsbury. What year was that where Cliff was there? I think it was the 2021 season where I think even James Conner made a Pro Bowl with Cliff Kingsbury in 2021 where he had 15 rushing touchdowns and 3 receiving touchdowns that year. And he had a Pro Bowl season where B-Rob, how many touchdowns B-Rob? B-Rob has 2 touchdowns so far. I really think B-Rob can fool around and get double-digit touchdowns very easily this season. And he should easily get double-digit touchdowns for sure this year. B-Rob had 5 touchdowns last year and 4. He had 9 total touchdowns. B-Rob this year should have at least, probably 15 total touchdowns this year for sure, with Jayden Daniels making it a lot easier for him. I would throw Luke McCaffrey in there as a stud. I thought he played well. Thought he did a good job. That 4th and 2 catch where he almost had the touchdown, I thought he played pretty well. He's been the separation king so far. And Trent Scott, he had an 89.6 PFF grade. He had a 90.6 passing grade because of that catch. Austin Eckler, of course, was a stud. Terry McLaurin stud. Luke McCaffrey had an 82.0 PFF grade. Andrew Wiley had a 78.3 PFF grade, 78.3 pass blocking grade. Andrew Wiley did a good job. I thought he did a good job against Hubbard. And Cornelius Lucas had a 79.9 pass blocking grade. I'll just give a stud to all the offensive linemen. 82.1 pass blocking grade for Sam Cosmi. Who else? Charlie Biadasz, 76.5 PFF pass blocking grade. And Alec Grady, 87.8 pass blocking grade. The offensive line, my goodness, wow. They had a heck of a game on Monday Night Football for sure. And Lucas, Brandon Coleman did a good job against Hendricks. So I would give a stud to the whole offensive line. I thought they did a heck of a job. Jamison Crowder did play. I didn't even notice him out there, but he got a calf injury. He had 9 total snaps. Zach Ertz to me was a stud. Other than the fumble, he had a big 4th and 4 catch, so I give him kind of a stud. Not a full stud proclamation there, but I thought he did a good job moving the chains on a couple plays. And Ben Sinnott, once again, was the worst graded PFF player on offense. He was the worst graded PFF player against the Giants last week. But Ben Sinnott had a huge block on the Austin Eckler touchdown run. So Ben Sinnott, even he got up in the mix too. Like everybody contributed. That's why it was such a good team win, because everybody contributed some way on the offensive side. Like you even saw offensive linemen get in the mix and catch a touchdown. Trent Scott out there doing that. And Cliff Kingsbury he had a really good game overall. Here's another donation. Shout out my guy Oscar with the donation. He said trade for Davante Adams. He wants to trade for Davante Adams. There are some people that want to trade for Davante Adams. He does. He wants to trade for Davante Adams. He said Skins fan always says Redskins review. We got a collab, bro. My guy Redskins review, is he in the chat? That's my guy, man. Shout out to Redskins review. That's my guy, man. Shout out to him, man. He's a good guy. He's been doing content for years and years and years and years. He's been in the game. He started doing YouTube before I did. I started YouTube in 2018. He's one of the first YouTubers that I saw. Might have been the first. He might have actually been the first Commanders skins at a time YouTuber. I think he's the first one that I saw back in 2018 when I started. Skins fan all day is one of the first ones that I saw back in 2018-19 when we had was Kirk the quarterback at the time? I think Kirk was the quarterback, or Alex Smith was the quarterback at the time. That was my first year doing it when DJ Swearinger got released. Redskins Review was one of the first YouTubers that I saw that I subscribed to. Redskins Review, and Skins Fan All Day was one of the first Skins YouTubers that I subscribed to. Big Simple as well. He was. I know Big Simple's probably somewhere in the chat too. He's one of the first guys that I saw back in that time as well. So shout out to the OGs in the game of YouTube on the warpath. A lot of guys, Louis T, a lot of guys back then for sure. I'm probably not naming everybody. If I don't name everybody, you guys know who you are back in that time for sure. RTS, my guy Oscar, he says trade for Davante Adams. Like I said, right now the wide receiver core looks good, but I definitely would take a look at drafting Travis Hunter from Colorado for sure. McMillan from Arizona, but Davante Adams, I mean, you take a look at him. But like I said, Noah Brown stepping up, Luke McCaffrey stepping up. I think Jayden's starting to get good chemistry with the guys that we have. Zach Ertz has been really good. So I think the better that Jayden gets, the better that the cast is going to get. Like Noah Brown was a good pickup. I really like the Noah Brown pickup. I mean, if Davante Adams requests a trade and like, hey, I want to play with Jayden Daniels, then of course, I mean, you take a look at that for sure and see what the Raiders are willing to take. You know, Antonio Pierce, he called some guys out. I don't know if he was specifically talking about Davante Adams, because Antonio Pierce was like, some guys made some business decisions. So I think he's talking more about the defense. But yeah, I mean, Davante Adams, I would consider that. I know Davante, he badmouthed the fan base. He talked bad about the stadium, which the stadium is awful. I mean, we all agree on that. But Davante Adams, he did say some bad things about the fan base that I didn't like. So that's the only reason why I'm a little skeptical about getting him. But no, he's so talented, of course. It would definitely help Jayden out. He would help this offense out. Him and Terry would be nasty. They would be a nasty duo for sure. And then adding Noah Brown as wide receiver number 3, and then Luke McCaffrey is wide receiver number 4, and he's been getting open so far through 3 games. Like Luke McCaffrey's top 5, top 10 in separation this year. Vic B, shout out to him. He's a channel member. He says Xavier Howard or Patrick Peterson for free agency. I talked about Xavier Howard earlier with the allegations that he has going on. So that's why teams are skeptical about getting him. And then Patrick Peterson is old as dirt. But at this point, like the quarterback room is so bad to the point where it's like you can't really be picky about who you get, honestly. You can't really stick your nose up at guys, because the guys that we got are just, you know, they're mid at best. Ben St. Juste is our best corner right now. Like kind of low key by far. He's our best corner. And even Ben St. Juste is not, he's really a wide receiver number 2 in the league. Jack Kennedy, shout out to him. Thank you for another donation tonight. He says Amari Cooper and Paulson the Debo free agent targets. I do like Amari Cooper. I do like him a lot. He would be a good wide receiver. Him with Terry. He had a good game against the Giants. He had 2 touchdowns against the Giants. He would be a good pickup. T. Higgins is a free agent. Christian Kirk, we'll see if the Jaguars end up trading him. I like him a lot. Deontay Johnson, a lot of people talked about him with the Panthers. I don't think he's going to get traded now because he's actually playing pretty well with Andy Dalton. He had a good game. I think he had a touchdown. He had like 100-something yards with the Panthers against the Raiders since he has a quarterback now, because Bryce Young was really, really struggling. So we'll see. But Amari Cooper, yeah, I would take a look at him. I would take a look at him. Performance revision says unless our defense stinks our season away, the 6'5" McMillan would be nice in the draft. Yes, I agree with that. Zuzu says I'm hoping that AP will draft Kyron Lacy. Somebody brought him up earlier too. That would complete the wide receiver room and give Jayden his fellow receiver from LSU and someone that he has strong rapport with. Yeah, I would love that too. We get the ball back. This offense to this offense, they are proving with chances they will score. Yeah, I just need to see the defense force it. I know we don't force turnovers. Ball was supposed to be life. We haven't done that much. And Dylan Will says, I just listened to the Arizona Freaks. They said it was a layup win. It was not a layup win. The Bengals have been good for years. They've been good for years. Tim Farrell, I'll probably read one or two comments and I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight, guys. Tim Farrell says Allen has been getting manhandled. Payne has 4 tackles. New scheme is linebacker centric rather than line, but come on. Yeah, I mean, they just got to play better. They got to be more impactful. And even the Buccaneers game, they were getting back there, but they just didn't finish. And then they didn't. Daron Payne was playing pity patty flag football with Chase Brown out there and let him go. So they got to wake up. They got to play better. We've heard all the pregame speeches from John Allen. We've heard all the interviews from John Allen and him talking about thinking of getting traded and whatnot. He's just got to step up and play better. It's simple as that. We know these guys are better than what they've shown so far. We want to see them get back to the dominant defensive tackle pass rushing duo that they've been in the past. So we want to see that. They're getting paid the big bucks. They got to show up. They both got their contracts. They got to show up. Shadow Lemmer says, and Payne cares more about Call of Duty, his Rolls Royce than football. Yeah, I did see that Rolls Royce. I think he's got a Lamborghini. I mean, they all got big cars anyway, but I do remember that one Instagram story where Brian Robinson put it up and Daron Payne had like a light blue colored Rolls Royce, something crazy. Like that's just how you got money when you do stuff like that. But they gotta play to the pay. They gotta play up to the pay. Shigsby says, Shigsby Z, shout out to Shigsby, man. What's up, man? He's a big Wizards fan. He says, I watch football too and love the channel. AZ prediction, another shootout. 28-21 Commanders. Yeah, it's gonna be a shootout. With this defense, we gotta put up points. We gotta put up points to win any game. That's why we gotta go. We gotta be aggressive on 4th down again. Once again, we're gonna have to be aggressive on 4th down. It's gonna be touchdowns, not field goals. But sometimes I just want to see how Cliff this week. I want to see how Cliff approaches 4th downs this week. I do want to see that. That's gonna be huge. And my keys to victory in my preview, I want to see how they approach 4th down. Are they gonna be super aggressive again like they were last week? What are they gonna do on the Cardinals 30-yard line and it's 4th and 3? It's 10-10 and it's tied up 10-10. It's the 3rd quarter. We're on their 30-yard line. It's 4th and 3. There's 5 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Do you go for it on 4th down and get the touchdown, or are you gonna send Austin Cyborg out there for the field goal? Situations like that that they should already be talking about and thinking about analytic wise. What are you doing? It's tied up, and the 3rd quarter is probably going to be 20-20. So I'm not going to say 10. It's 20-20 in the 3rd quarter. The scenario is 4th and 3. We're on their 30-yard line. What's that? Like a 45-yard kick? Very makeable kick for Austin Cyborg in a dome. What do they decide to do? I think that's probably going to be one of the biggest keys to victory for me is that decision making. And as you said, it's going to be another shootout. How do they approach those scenarios and those moments coming up next week? I think that's going to be one of the biggest keys to victory for me coming up against the Cardinals, where they can put up points too. We saw them put up points against the Bills in week 1, and they got a stud in Marvin Harrison. They got a stud in James Conner, and they have a good quarterback in Kyler Murray that can run. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. I saw a Albert Hainsworth comment, so I definitely get up out of here, guys. Thank you guys for joining as well. As always, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and like and all that good stuff. Hit the notification bell. Make sure you guys check out BetUS as always. They got a good deal with 150% sign-on bonus for your first deposit, and then the next 2 is 125% deposit bonus up to $2,000 using code YouTube150 as always. Healthy Commanders, enjoy this time, guys. But we move on to the Cardinals. This college offense keeps marching down the field. We don't punt, guys. Touchdowns, no field goals, and we're in a no punt zone. No punt. We don't punt the football. Tressway can relax. He can relax. Tressway don't even got to suit up on Sundays anymore. We can just go out there and move the football. Touchdowns and field goals, and that's it. All right, guys, as always, Hell's Commanders. Peace.